Well, good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie again. I hope your week has been as good as mine has been. I had a really pleasant time the last 7 days. Uh, just touching base with friends, family, uh, and acquaintances I haven't seen for a long, long time. So that's always to me a wonderful journey to take, to renew old acquaintances, to recall fond memories, to be reminded of so many of the joys in life. And I certainly have been celebrating that fact. I need to make sure that I do this on a much more regular basis because it brings me so much happiness. Um, and it also has a service that it performs in that it reminds me that whether we like it or not, change continues to be a constant in our lives, and change is inevitable, and that we need to embrace not only the change, but the memories that we have accumulated throughout our journey. And that we can always find the good in the process if we keep our minds open to it. I found myself focusing much more this week on what really matters to me. What is one of my core values? Uh, what do I rank up there as most important? Uh, Finding one thing that has the greatest positive impact on everything else can be so rewarding and put you at ease with the choices you're making as you move through your life. Uh, One of the things that some friends from college and I were talking about was the risks we took when we were in college. Uh, I said, I think it was last week when we were talking, that fear can be a big source of regret, and that we should try not to be afraid to take chances. Yes, you need to be cautious and careful and stuff, but you still need to act beyond your ability to control the situation, because you're never going to be totally capable of controlling the situation. And my friends and I were gathered together and talking about some of the things. We had no idea how they were going to work out, but we felt they were important enough in our lives at that point in time to take a risk, uh, to act instead of the feared. Uh, and the outcomes were rewarding and wonderful, and we recalled them so fondly when we all got together. It's true that life certainly is not always fair, and the world absolutely is not always fair, and all of us have to unfortunately go through loss and pain and uncertainty, but it helps us grow into the people we eventually become, and and it binds us together in the human experience also. We overcame a lot of stuff. I'm sure in your life you can look back on things that you acted on based on faith and courage and took a considered risk, and how grateful you are for the outcome in your life, because you were willing to take that chance to live your best life. Uh, One of the things we also were talking about is that we have come to the point where we are making peace with life. Uh, I can't change everything. You can't change everything. Uh, so we have to make some type of peace with the life as it is and do our best to change what we can. Uh, One thing I know for sure, that it's really important to own your own life, uh, to take responsibility for the life that you have and the decisions that you did make, are making now, and continue to make for the rest of your life. Um, that that gives me great strength to say, yeah, this is my life. I own it. I'm responsible for it. It was not your fault. I made my decisions. Do I wish some things had worked out better? Of course. Am I glad how some things worked out? Beyond my wildest beliefs. Did I ever think I would live the most wonderful life that I have so far in this journey. One thing that all of us were talking about, and I share with you, is that you need to teach other people how you want to be treated. Uh, you don't always come with a guidebook or a manual. You sometimes need to give other people a clue as to what you would like them to do, living with you, learning with you, and based on what you feel is the best for you. Uh, that's something that very often we don't communicate to others. Uh, it's like the cliches we see all the time. Uh, how how are you doing? Fine. Well, that's almost like a death knell of some kind. Uh, is there something I can do for you? No, I'm just fine. Well, you know that person's not fine. You know that person has things that would probably make things better, not only for them, but for you, and yet they're reluctant to help you figure out what it is that they would really welcome from you in going on this life journey together and helping each other along the way. Uh, One thing also I know I try to be very mindful of is to appreciate what you have, to make sure that you enjoy the good moments as long as they last, because things are bound to change at some point in time. So to make the best of the good situation when it comes across your path. Grab it, hug it, uh, pull it to you, nurture it, uh, appreciate what you have in the moment. Uh, that is one of the best ways, I think, to embrace any change is to appreciate what you have in the moment and get through the moment when things aren't going quite as well. One thing for sure that I think all of us need to do is stop looking for the perfect life. Uh, Better to invest your energies into a lifestyle that you can repeat and make each day count as much as it possibly can. To me, it's much better than trying to work at living the perfect life, because I don't believe the perfect life is out there for anybody. Things change. So just when you think you might have figured it out, there's a fly in the ointment and something needs to be adjusted. Another thing that all of us said is you shouldn't compare yourself to others. You can't make someone else change. So there's no point in getting mad at them for not being who you want them to be. They are who they are. It's sort of a takeoff on the saying, it is what it is. People are who they are. And you don't need to compare yourself to them in any way. Just acknowledge who they are and accept the fact that not everybody is always going to like you or be pleased with what your opinions might be or what you might say or even the color you may choose to wear. Also, I found it really good when we were all talking and we were laughing about it. Some experiences we've had is accept that you'll never know everything. You'll never know what you want to be when you grow up. And probably you won't want to be reminded about what it was anyway. Uh, I'm not sure I'm grown up yet, but I know that I'm going to accept myself as who I am with the strengths I have, with the weaknesses I have, and keep moving forward to live the best, most happy life I possibly can. It is surprising how easy it is to lose sight of the important things in life. Uh, I used to make schedules for everything and routines. And I began to notice that all the schedules and the routines really serve primarily to put my brain on autopilot. So I did lose sight of what was really important when that was happening. I was so busy completing these lists and schedules and routines that I forgot to look at that life. And it was just flowing by, sort of lost in the kerfuffle of the busy schedules. And the schedules were not the important things. Who cared at the end of the day that I had checked every single box on my list? There might have been another item that would have taken precedence over every other box on that list if I had been looking at what was really the important thing. And I think, sometimes we just need to sit down and be willing to change our changes as circumstances change. When things aren't going quite the way you'd like them to, it's often because we lose focus on what really matters. But focusing, I think, on the fundamental truths can be difficult, especially when those fundamental truths remind you that you might be heading in the wrong direction and you need to do an about face and reconsider some things. Uh, I think, especially when we're very busy in careers and raising families, this is most uh, commonly apt to happen because the plate of life gets so full that it begins to overflow. But sometimes it's okay to push some stuff off on the side and look at the thing that's been added to the plate that now is taking high precedence. Uh, you can change your changes in a most powerful way in these moments in time if you're just willing to not be locked into some kind of an artificial schedule. Uh, the best things in life, to me, don't come easily. And failing to pay attention to yourself carefully is a sure path to miss some of the most important experiences. I think Socrates probably said it best when he said, the unexamined life isn't worth living. Run your life on the questions you ask, not on answers you already think you know. I think all of us live our best lives and are heading in the direction of our healthiest, happiest lives when we ask ourselves regularly if we are heading in that right direction. Many of life's essential truths can't ever be forgotten. They need to be repeated. We need to keep our priorities in order, and the only way I know to do that is check in regularly with myself. in order to assure that I'm still on track. I think all of us need reminders that help us to stay focused on them, and we need to hold ourselves close to these basic truths for us. So, what makes a difference to you? What do you need to change to live that full, happy life that you so richly deserve? I think I need to make a few little adjustments, and they have to do right now, at this moment in time, with clearing out a lot of unnecessary clutter and simplifying things. I don't know what it'll be for you, but it'll be fun to find out. So you hang in there. You have a great day. Be happy, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.